Krishna Kirtana Ganana Tanapano Prema.
Joking here. The next person that's about to tell you a story, his name is Sankirtan Das. Sankirtan has been in Vrindaban, I think, since 1976. So we're talking about almost a half a century. And he hardly looks a day over, he hardly looks a day over that. Sankirtan has the distinct honor of being probably the only actor in ISKCON that I would say who got a write-up in the New York Times. Sankirtan. Wow, that's right. He is a renowned actor. He's a renowned storyteller. He's written books. He has an award-winning Mahabharat. He's a renowned devotee, a wonderful devotee. And most of all, he is a friend of mine and a friend to all the devotees in Vrindaban. Give it up for Sankirtan Das.
Hari. Tonight, I am going to share with you a story of Hanuman. Haribol, Jai Radhe, Jai Hanuman. But you know, Hanuman, he had a very interesting childhood. His mother was a monkey, but his father was a god, the Lord of the wind, Vayu. And so Hanuman really didn't know his own strength. When he was just a little child, his mother left him. She had to do something. And she left him with a nice, big, juicy orange. And he peeled the orange and he ate that orange up. And it was so delicious, so scrumptious. He wanted another orange right away. You know how kids are. When they want something, they have to have it right away. Are there any kids out there in the audience like that? Do we have a few kids like that? Okay. So Hanuman, he was looking around for another orange. He was looking here and there. And then he looked up and he saw a nice, big, juicy orange in the sky above the trees. Of course, that was the sun. But Hanuman, he jumped up to get it and he didn't even know his own strength. And he flew higher and higher and higher. Being the son of the wind god, he had extraordinary power of flight. But Hanuman, he didn't know his own strength, and he soared higher above the earth. And in the heavens, there was King Indra. And he saw this little monkey child flying up into outer space, and he was thinking, how is this little monkey child transgressing the laws of the universe? And he threw down his thunderbolt, and it hit Hanuman on the chin. And Hanuman began to fall down, back down to the earth. And his father, Vayu, the wind god, he saw his little son falling from the heavens, and he caught hold of him in his arms. Little Hanuman was trembling uncontrollably. And his father looked at him, and he asked, where are the gods that they would allow such a horrible thing to happen to an innocent little child? This is the first time that question was uttered. Nowadays, in the Kali Yuga, so many horrible things are happening to innocent children. And we ask that question again and again. But this moment was the very first time that that question was uttered. And Vayu, he was disgusted. He didn't want to have anything to do with anything. And he took his son and he flew up into outer space, searching for a nice, quiet place to take care of his child. But as Vayu left this world with his little son Hanuman, because Vayu was the controller of the air and the wind, all of the wind and the air left the earth with him. That didn't do so well for us human beings or for life on earth, because everybody needs air to breathe, to live. And so people started to suffocate. They couldn't breathe. They were choking. You know, this is very interesting, because the air is the most precious thing that we have. But the funny thing is that when we take a breath of air, even though it's the most precious thing, you know, when you have something precious, you want to keep it. you want to hold on to it. You want to put it in a safe place. But with the breath being the most precious thing, you can't keep it. Because you'll get sick if you try to hold on to it. You take it in, and then you have to give it back. Try that. Breathe in. One more time. And give it back. And so now, everyone was in great danger, and the gods rushed to Vayu and pleaded with him, "Please, for the sake of life, return to the earth." And Vayu, being very compassionate, he once again embraced the earth, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Now things were as they should be, and the gods were very happy, and they bestowed many wonderful gifts upon Hanuman. Indra was the first one. He said, because my weapon, the thunderbolt, has harmed your body, I promise you, Hanuman, that no weapon will ever touch your body in the future. And Agni, he also offered a benediction. He said, people are usually afraid of me. When I jump here and there, everybody runs away in fear. But Hanuman, you will never fear my touch. And so there were many wonderful benedictions bestowed upon the little monkey child. But after all, he was only a little baby, a little child. And now he had all these powers. And he could do whatever he wanted. And he didn't have to listen to anybody in his village. He didn't have to listen to his parents. He didn't have to listen to the elders. He didn't even have to listen to the sages living in the forest. As a matter of fact, he crept out into the forest and taunted the sages. And he laughed at the sages. And the sages were tearing out the beards on their hair and their chin, wondering, what are we going to do with this little monkey child? He won't listen to anyone. We can't take away his powers. But one of the sages had an idea. No, we can't take away the powers granted to Hanuman by the gods. But we can make a spell of forgetfulness. And we'll place that spell of forgetfulness around Hanuman. And he won't remember that he has these powers. But in the future, someone will remind him. And those powers will spring back to life. And so in the future, many years passed. And two strangers came to the monkey civilization in central India. Ram and Lakshman. They were looking for Sita, who had been kidnapped. And the monkeys rallied together, and they sent search parties out to the east and to the west and to the north and to the south. And Hanuman was on a search party going to the south. And they went further and further south. They went through jungles, and they went over mountains, and they went deep into the mountain caves, looking anywhere high and low for Sita. Where could she be? And finally, after many, many weeks, they came to the shore of the Southern Ocean. And there they sat down. Their hearts were heavy. They didn't know what to do. They looked everywhere, high and low. No trace of Sita at all. But there was a rumor, a legend, that in the ocean there was a great civilization, Sri Lanka. Perhaps she's there. But that's very far into the ocean. One of the monkeys jumped up and said, I can jump 10 miles. But I don't think that's far enough. Another monkey jumped up. I can jump 20 miles across the ocean. But I don't think that's far enough. And so the monkeys were all volunteering. In the meantime, Hanuman was sitting on a rock by the beach. He remained silent, contemplating. And the monkeys looked at him. Hanuman, what about you? You are the son of the wind god. In your childhood, you received many powers from the gods. Surely you can easily jump across the ocean and go to Sri Lanka. And when Hanuman was reminded, then his spell was broken, and he leapt across the ocean. And so this is a very wonderful story. And it's explained that even if one hears a fraction of this story, there are many wonderful benedictions. Just like Hanuman got so many blessings from the gods, that if we listen to these stories of Hanuman with attention, actually Hanuman himself, he relishes these stories. Wherever these stories are told, Hanuman creeps into the audience to listen to his own story. And so there are many wonderful benedictions. So breathe a sigh of relief. Jai Shri Hanuman. Thank you.
Sankirtan.